Hello, my name is Joe Halfman, and I'm a Senior Solution Consultant with fourTENS. This video is part 5 and the last one on the Accordion menu component built for K2 Smartforms. As a review, here is a single-page web interface that utilizes the Accordion menu component. In previous videos, we looked at everything from the basics of the layout of the page to the underlying CSS and JavaScript that controls the styling and functionality, along with the underlying database for generating the menu and storing the menu configurations. The database is the foundation for creating a user interface to manage these configurations. In this video, I will be demonstrating the configuration user interface built with K2 Smartforms, including some insight and tips and tricks on using CSS and JavaScript to enhance the Smartforms functionality. Here is the configuration form. The menus list shows us the menus that have been created. We have the menu name along with a menu key. By clicking on the base template, I could easily create a new menu by cloning it. This makes it nice and easy to create new menus. If I click on a menu, you'll see down here it displays the different sections associated with that menu. I can manage these sections. I can add new ones, edit the existing ones. The icons that we use for these sections are font awesome icons. When I double click to edit on a section, this is using the autocomplete control where the smart objects is tied to a table behind the scenes that has a list of all the font awesome icons that are available. So for example, if I wanted to change this one to be something else like address book or something like that, I could just simply start typing it. It'll find it and it'll change it, and it'll also give me a preview right away of what it is. If I click on a section, such as if I click on the favorites right here, it's going to show me all of the menu items that are defined for that particular section. And once again, we can add, remove, and specify the order in which these items will appear by using the ordinal value, as we see here. Within the menu items, the key values are going to be the caption along with the link. The link's going to be the link to a Smartform page or even an external web page. And then we can give it a key that we could use to identify which link we clicked on if we wanted to in our Smartforms code. And then also specify whether or not it appears in a new window instead of appearing within our iframe. So let's go ahead and just add a new menu item to see how easy it is to configure something and watch what happens. So I'm going to add a link to the AccuWeather web page. And we'll just call it favorites. Oops. Weather, and not in a new window. And maybe I like this one. We're going to move it up to the first one, and so we'll just change our orders here, and we'll make this one the last one. I'll go ahead and save that. Now if I go back to my Accordion menu and I refresh it, and if I look at my favorites, you'll see I now have an AccuWeather, and go ahead and click on it, and it brings up the AccuWeather website. Let's go back to the configuration once more, and let's take a look at the configuration for the menu. So I'll go ahead and I'll click the Edit button, and now this is going to bring up the menu configuration dialog. You'll see here we have the different colors and fonts that are used to style our menu. If you remember from the previous session, these are associated with the CSS variables that are assigned these various values. These colors can easily be changed by clicking on any of the different color swatches. For example, I'll click on font color. This pulls up a dialog that allows me to select a color. Now this is not using anything special out of K2, but rather this is the built-in color picker for the browser. So I could go ahead if I wanted to, and I could change it to maybe a lighter blue or something like that, and go ahead and save it. And you'll see that it's updated my color swatch as well as the color value right here. Let's take a look at how this is implemented on this Smartform. Here we see the designer for that view. For each of the different color displays, we're using nothing more than an HTML element, a div element that is, with the background color being set to the color that we want. That's what this color display template is showing us right here. When we click on that, it's calling a JavaScript function, color picker button click, that we've defined, passing in the button name. The JavaScript function that takes and processes the button name is actually going to call the click event for this hidden button right here that's going to pull up that dialog for just selecting our color. We want to take a look at the JavaScript that's used for that. We define it in a data label called JS that's hidden on our view. Here it is right here. And you'll see it's pretty simple. We pass in the button name as an argument, and then we use jQuery to identify that button on the view and call its click event. The click event on the button then handles the displaying of our dialog as we see here. We do this by transferring specific information for the color that we want to change, and then we open the color picker, and then after we've done that, we transfer our values back. The result being, when we click on the color swatch, it then displays our color picker. The implementation of this, as mentioned previously, is done using the built-in color type input control for the web browser. Let's take a closer look at that. Here's the view that's used for the color picker. The main part of it is this menu control HTML data label that we see right here. It's set as literal, and behind the scenes, it's using a expression for its definition. It's a little bit longer here, so I'm going to pull this up in Visual Studio Code so we can take a look at it. So here you'll see the key is that it's using an HTML input element, but the type is color. What that does, it allows us to use the built-in browser's color selector in order to select our color. We also use some CSS styling on this to give it a certain size and also take advantage of the WebKit color pseudo elements to also specify some styling as well. And then finally, on the color change function that we see right here on our onChange event here, what this is doing is it's going to use some JavaScript to set the data label that we have on our view to the specific color value. So all of this is what makes it possible then to basically easily go ahead and click on the color swatch, bring up the color picker, go ahead and change it, save it, and it gets updated accordingly. This concludes the video series on the Accordion menu component. I hope you enjoyed it and provided you with some insight into how to use CSS and JavaScript to enhance the Smartforms user interfaces, and also inspired you to come up with your own components. In upcoming videos, I will showcase additional common and reusable Smartform components. Please subscribe to our YouTube channel and reach out to us if you want to learn more about how we can help you leverage your investment in the K2 platform. Thanks.